Now that you've taken all your photos for this composition lesson, we're going to put them together into a video presentation. So typically what we do if we were in class, we might just print a few of them out or have you guys display them and stand up and talk about them. But this is a really fun way to do it where you get to talk about your art and not necessarily be in front of a crowd and you can just kind of record yourself. So it's a little bit more of a fun way to do this. And it's a great way to share it so you can go back and see people's work. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to spark.adobe.com. We're actually going to use this quite a bit this year. It's a free resource that Adobe creates that you can do video presentations, you can create website presentations, all kinds of really fun stuff. So what you'll do is you'll go to sign in and you're going to put in your school. Right over here it says teacher or student. You're going to log in using your school email address. And the reason you do that is because everything you create under this account will be saved under that account. You click on company or school account and it takes you there. So any work that I create, whether it's for a tutorial for this or for myself, it saves it all right there so I can easily access it. If you want to use a Gmail account or a personal email account, you can totally do that as well because, again, Adobe Spark is free. You don't have to have Creative Cloud to use this one. All right. So right when you walk in, you'll see this kind of home screen, so to speak. And there's some projects that I've done, some brands, however that works. You can get into that where you can create a brand and put the logo with everything. But really what I want to show you are these options right here. And this is what we'll be using a lot of. So you can create a collage of photos. What's nice about this too is if you guys start creating really awesome photos, which you will throughout this class, and you want to post them on your Instagram, you can create collages through Adobe Spark. You can put text on it and you can create them and get them ready to go. So there's an Instagram post. So you can set up your work or a collage of your work for social media from this as well. So it's really awesome. What we're going to do is we're going to create a slideshow. So you can see it's got the video button there. Some other options, these presentations, these create websites. We'll be using those as well throughout the year. We're going to click on this one. And I'm just going to show you a couple examples. I'm going to do like 3 slides and show you how this works. So it'll start with a title. So you're going to call this I can't type 3. So your last name and then composition presentation. If you want to get creative with it, you can totally do that too. Then I'm going to click next. And then what you can do is you can pick one of these cool templates. Really, it doesn't matter because you're going to be kind of adjusting them and editing them either way. I'm just going to go with that one. So I don't really know what separates those. Maybe it could be colors and text and font choices, but I'm just going to pick one for now. And just click OK, I'm ready. You don't need a tutorial. It's really, like I said, quick and easy to do. So you've got some options. Here's the screen you're going to be working with. And the plus sign tells you what you want to put in, right? So I can put in a video, a text, a photo, or an icon. I'm going to get rid of that right there. And I'm going to click photo. And what you can do is it gives you this little option over here. So you can upload a photo from your computer. You can upload a photo from Lightroom. So if you did some editing of this photo in Lightroom and you saved it, you can upload it right from there. If you have it in Google Drive, Google Photos, Dropbox, anywhere, if you have it saved through Creative Cloud. So this is awesome that you can access your photos through that way. So you don't have to save it into a folder necessarily on your desktop. If you do have it in Lightroom, you can connect the two. What I'm going to do is I just downloaded some from Unsplash just for our purposes here. And I'm going to start with this one. And it will put that in there. Go back to layout, or is it theme? I have this little watermark that I want to get rid of, and I don't know how to do it. Oh, let's do this. Pick a cool theme. Okay, got it. So it's going to theme out my thing. So you can see it's got all that. So you can pick different themes, different colors. So it's really fun to work with. I can't remember. Oh, there it is. Show stamp. Get rid of that. Don't need that. So there's my photo to start with. And you don't want to put, you could put text over it, but I'm not going to, because what you're going to do is you're actually going to record over it. So I'll show you how to put in some extra photos. You'll see there's some squares down here for your next slides. You can click on the plus sign to add a new one, or if you create a template, you can just click on those and you can edit what's there. And I'm going to hit photo again, upload that next one. And I want you to try to fill the frame with it. Oh, there it is. I'm waiting for that little icon. So this little icon right here is your edit button. I can shrink it down because that was way too big. I'm missing out a lot on my picture. So if you put it on there and be like, that's way too big, give it a minute to process the image, and then the little kind of pencil symbol will come in, and then you can shrink that down and have it fit into there. So I'm gonna go a little bit bigger than that, but for the most part, there it is. Okay, so now I can resize. Maybe if that one was too big, there's that pencil icon. I can resize that a little bit more as well. That was pretty close, so we're good there. So again, if you're looking at this and be like, oh, wow, I don't like how there's that white border there, go to your theme and you can change it up. Maybe you want to go to Noir. Now it puts a little black background in there. So now it maybe looks a little bit cleaner for what you want to work with. So again, you can change the themes right there. Okay, so let me do one more. Put a photo in, upload photo. Awesome. So give it a minute. Wait till that little pencil. There it is. Now it's available. Shrink it down a little bit. Okay. So I've got my 3 photos to start with. Okay. If you want to do a title slide, you can totally do that. Put some text in there. You don't have to. But once you've got your title slide done, you've got this little microphone icon. You click and hold on the button, and then you speak into it and record. You have 30 seconds per slide. So what you're going to do is you're going to talk about what is the compositional technique that you use in this photo and how is it displayed. So for example, I might click and hold, and I'm going to actually click and hold so you guys can see how this works. For this photo, I chose rule of thirds. And if you see how the horizon line for the water and the sky meet on the upper part of the rule of thirds. So that kind of fills it in. The bottom where the water is the bottom 2/3 of the image, and the sky is the upper 2/3. So you can see as I recorded that, it's got those little waves there to show it's recording, but it gave you a timer. It tells you how long you've been talking for. And once you get into like the 10-second range, it turns red and says, you're running out of time or wrap it up or something like that. So it gives you a little prompt. Okay. So that's really it. It's quite simple. Let me try another one here. For this one, I used diagonal lines. I stood on the bridge and I saw these bright yellow beams coming together at the end and the black railings, and I thought it created really nice contrast. So I stood in the center to make it symmetrically balanced and had the diagonal lines come together at the end of the bridge. Let me do one more here. For this one, I used framing, and I took a picture outside the back window of a vehicle, and I had the foreground out of focus, and I had the picture or the image in the background in sharp focus so you can see the cab car and the city that I was driving in. Okay, so you heard how my description was. I talked about what the compositional technique was, framing, and then how I captured it and what I was looking for. So really simple, really basic. I'm going to go back to the beginning here, and I'm going to click on preview. And for this photo, I chose rule of thirds. And if you see how the horizon line for the water and the sky... Actually, I'm going to cut that real quick so you can hear the music playing. The music tab, right? You can actually, it comes with preset music that you can put on there, but that was way too loud. So I'm going to bring that volume down, and you can turn it off. If you don't want music, you don't have to. It just adds a little bit of flair to it, but I'm going to turn the volume down, and I'm going to go back and preview it and see how it looks. For this photo, I chose rule of thirds. And if you see how the horizon line for the water and the sky meet on the upper part of the rule of thirds. So that kind of fills it in. The bottom where the water is the bottom 2/3 of the image, and the sky is the upper 2/3. For this one, I used diagonal lines. I stood on the bridge, you can see it transitions automatically for you. And the black railings, and I thought it created really nice contrast. So I stood in the center to make it symmetrically balanced and had the diagonal lines come together at the end of the bridge. For this one, I used framing, and I took a picture outside the back window of a vehicle, and I had the foreground out of focus, and I had the picture or the image. Okay, I'll just kind of stop right there. So you saw the preview, how it works. So it does automatic transitions for you. It kind of blends it in seamlessly. It seems like, it does a lot of the work for you in terms of transitioning the audio, transitioning the imagery, and going through. So once you capture your pictures, this is the kind of fun, easy part, right? Dropping your pictures in, just edit them so that they fit within there and they're not getting cut off. And then going on each slide and just click and hold on that record button to record your audio. Okay. And once you've got all your images in, let's say you've got some extras here, these extra slides, if you did a preset, if you right click on it, you can click hide and it'll hide that slide. So that slide will no longer, these you can delete, right? Yes, delete that slide. You don't want those in there. So if you want to do credits, this one, I might do some credits with that since I use these from Unsplash. I might put on there. Now, obviously, you won't be doing that because you're taking your own photos. But in the future, if you ever use somebody else's imagery, you have to credit that. So you'd put the credits of the artist names. I would go in here and I would go back through and give each artist credit for their photos. And then you can just, like I said, delete these other ones, go from there. If you don't want the credit ones, you can just hide the credits and it won't show it. All right. And pretty simple. If you wanted to put a caption into it. So I saw this over here. If I click on this one, the layout right now it's just full screen, but you can change it and put a caption on there. So if you wanted to add text and call this one, put the name of what you're using in there, you can totally do that as well. That is not required, but you can do that if you'd like to, and you can move that around, put it off to the side. So if you want to put on there so people can see it better, you can totally do that. But that is under the layout tab and you click on captions. So that's kind of how you make a quick, easy video presentation of your work. So what do we do when we're done? What you're going to do is you're going to click on share and go to publish. And you'll see it gives you these options here. You can pick a category. Yeah, call it photography. That's your category. If you want to give it a subtitle, you can. You don't have to. And then you're going to click on create link. And what it's going to do is it's going to create a link that you're going to copy and paste into Padlet. So after this after this part of the module, this little section here, you're going to see one that says compositional photo shoot Padlet. You're going to go in there, click on the little plus sign to create a new Padlet sticky paste for the wall, and you're going to paste in the link for your presentation. And this way we can all have it collected in one space. We can all see your work, and you'll be able to go through and watch the work of your peers, and you're going to be providing feedback on that as well, just like we did for the selfie color wheel concept. So same thing, you're just doing it now with a video presentation of all of your work. So when all said and done, you have 9 photos. If you've got 30 seconds of photo, what is that? Like 4 minutes tops. So not a whole lot. So again, here's your shareable link. You can copy it. You can also embed it. Actually, I'm going to try that out. Let me see here. I've got our selfie color wheel Padlet up there. So let's see if this works. I'm going to click on that plus sign. I'm going to try click embed. And then that's the embed code. I'm going to make sure it's highlighted, right click, hit copy. And in there, upload. Nope. But what if I just, in the write something part, if I just hit paste? Could not save your changes. Nope. Okay, so it doesn't work that way. But what you can do, so you can't embed. But if I take this link and I hit copy, I go to that and let's cancel out of that. Actually, let's trash this. Yep, delete post. All right, so I'll go back to that plus sign. I'm going to click on this link symbol and I'm going to paste in that link. So just to clarify, embedding does not work, but hitting this copy, this shareable link, if I copy that and I put it in there and I click save, that it will work. That will put your post in there. And I think it'll actually give a nice preview. There it is. So you can see my name, composition presentation, and you can actually play it right from there. So if you want to make it bigger, you can. For this photo, I chose rule of 30. Awesome. So now you can go and watch the work of your peers, see the photos that they've taken with their compositional techniques, and go from there. So that is how you make an Adobe Spark video to present your photos for this composition assignment.